Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez. Well, Independence Day weekend is here, and it's a big one here in the town of Barnstable. So it's no surprise that much of the discussion this past week on our daily talk show, Barnstable This Morning, focused on the many aspects of the busy weekend ahead. Today, we're bringing you the highlights of some of those conversations, and we'll start back on Monday, June 28th, when Community Services Director Lynn Poyon joined us to talk about the 4th of July fireworks display over Lewis Bay and the preceding parade down Main Street, Hyannis.
Okay, well, the most major event, I think, is the fireworks display that's taking place on Sunday, July 4th. It takes place at dusk, which is approximately at 9 p.m., and prior to that, there's going to actually be a concert from the Cape Cod Conservatory Jazz Ensemble. Cape Cod Conservatory Jazz Ensemble. Will start at 7 o'clock. I think it's really important for people to know that the main viewing locations for this year's fireworks are going to be what they have been for the past couple of years. It's Asleton Park, Bismore Park, and Veterans Park Beach.
Obviously, before the fireworks display, which is a huge event, we have the largest parade in town is the Hyannis Main Street 4th of July parade. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right, that starts at 4 p.m., and this year's theme is Stars and Stripes, and it's presented by the Town of Barnstable 4th of July Parade Committee. This year, the parade grand marshal is Sidney Larry Chase, recently retired veterans agent, and I think that's really a brilliant idea. We have a lot of bands, including the Barnstable High School Marching Band, the Dennis Yarmouth High School Marching Band, the Calm Keel Pipe and Drums, and Mike Dumas and Platform Soul, and there's a lot more. And then the Greater Hyannis Civic Association is sponsoring a children's bicycle decorating contest on the village green prior to the kickoff of the parade. And at a certain area of the parade, they stop it so that the kids and their bikes can get into the parade.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really fun.
Of course, there are a number of smaller village parades to take in on Saturday and Sunday. For times and locations, check out our website at town.barnstable.ma.us. Aside from the parades and fireworks, this also is a crucial weekend for local business owners to kickstart their summer seasons. So on Tuesday, June 29th, we asked Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce CEO Wendy Northcross for her July 4th economic forecast.
Well, you know, the one thing we do know is that in the months of July and August, Cape Cod does about 50% of its tourism business. So it's a $2 billion industry, direct spending of $2 billion in the region. We estimate around 4 million visitors over 12 months, and half of that all happens in July and August. So if it's not happening now, it's going to be a long, cold winter for a lot of Cape Codders.
If we really have like a doorbuster weekend this weekend, if there are hundreds of thousands of people crawling around the Cape, visiting main streets everywhere, including here in the town of Barnstable, right, would this be a signal to you that the grip of the recession is kind of loosening, or would that not convince you yet?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we have already seen major indicators that we're back on an uptick, and whether we're actually seeing, new economic optimism or not, I think people are just saying, hey, my life is what it is. I still have a job. Maybe I didn't get a raise, but I'm still working. I didn't take my vacation last year. I'm not going to deprive myself this year. So we're just going to get away, and we're seeing a lot of that. So I think people are settling into the new reality, and there's still room. There's a lot of room for improvement, but everything. We at our last board of directors meeting, all 28 directors went around the table, broad variety of business types at the table. And most everyone agreed that the last 2 years had been the worst they had seen in 60, 70 years.
Wow.
But that they felt the uptick, they felt the turnaround, they saw the optimism, and that people were willing to spend money again.
As we've mentioned, there are several parades in town this weekend, and each one has its own distinct character. On Wednesday, June 30th, Hyannis Main Street Business Improvement District Executive Director Elizabeth Werfbane gave us her take on some of the differences between the parades and why those unique traditions make celebrating Independence Day here on the Cape so special.
I'll give you a parade course.
Okay, great.
I used to run the parade on Main Street, Centerville.
Okay.
So the Main Street Centerville parade is people start at Centerville Elementary, and they dress up their dogs and their little red wagons and their bicycles, and they walk. And there's no music. It's a procession. And yeah, and there's no real fire truck. It's just based on little kids. And then at the end, they were behind the old post office, out on a big green. And there's field day events like water balloon contests.
Yeah.
So you throw water balloons at each other, and the last one standing wins. You know, the real old-fashioned potato sack races. Oh yeah, very old-fashioned, very funny. It's as cute as it gets. And then the one on Main Street has floats, classic cars, politicians, clowns, people on stilts, bands that come from all over the state.
You got to love those little village parades, though, because obviously the Hyannis Main Street Parade is a much more conventional and big-time kind of 4th of July parade. But all the ones in the little villages, like the Centerville Parade, the Barnstable Village Parade, the Katuitt Parade, they really are kind of that anachronistic, preserved slice of Americana that I think a lot of people do seek in the summertime here on Cape Cod.
Oh, they do. That's what they're looking for when they come here, is the beautiful, you know, the children and the golden retriever and, you know, the grandpa in his lawn chair, and he should be proud, and everyone's wearing baseball caps, and it's, you know, it's just sweet. And I was once at the Hyannisport Parade, and there was someone there from Ralph Lauren, and she was taking notes.
Is that right?
It couldn't have been more beautiful. I mean, the people, the look was so classic, and it was so real, you know, that it was like crazy. She was like, oh my gosh, it was a treasure trove of beauty, you know, because you have the older people with the grandchildren and the dogs are dressed up, and the beautiful old-fashioned bikes with the baskets, and yeah, it really was. It could have been, you know, a cover of a magazine. So I think that's what we do on Cape Cod, but we do it for real.
One of the busiest groups of town employees this weekend will be the staff at Sandy Neck Beach Park. As park manager Nina Coleman explained to us on Friday, July 2nd, all the elements are just right to accommodate a huge number of ORVs and campers out on Sandy Neck.
We're in for a big one. We are in for a big one. Already there's a couple hundred campers out there, so we're going to have a lot of campers. I'm anticipating starting tonight what we call the day trippers, the people with just a ORV sticker.
Sure.
And not a camper. Excuse me, are going to be coming out in force. Saturday, very busy. Sunday, extremely busy. People should be aware, if they do want to come to the beach, that there are going to be a lot of people.
But people who know Sandy Neck at all know that on the 4th of July, it's not the serene, solitary, lone camper with miles of beautiful beach in either direction, and you're totally by yourself. I mean, people who go out there know that it's going to be a crowded, loud, sort of festival-type atmosphere out there.
Yes, festival-type atmosphere. That's absolutely it. Everybody's going to be sporting their American flags. People are going to be enjoying the weekend, enjoying the weather. Enjoying, the crowd. That's what we do on the 4th. That's what we do on the Cape on the 4th.
That's right.
So I'm sure it's going to be a great time. As I said, the weather is amazing. The tides couldn't be better because they're high earlier in the day, and then they're going out the whole day, which is easier to give people more space. Our staff is going to be busy trying to get people through the gatehouse. So if somebody wants to come, I would suggest coming early before the line.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we have to deal with everybody once they're on the beach. So we have a lot of officers going to be patrolling the beach this weekend and making sure everybody's having a good time.
If you'd like to see these complete interviews, every episode of Barnstable This Morning is available to view online. You can find them in the town's video archives at town.barnstable.ma.us. Well, that's all for now. Everybody have a fun and safe Independence Day weekend, and we'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.